right, pop rivets are in. Well, I have got a problem. We are leaving for Daytona in the morning, and you'll see that I've got the awning out. There it is. We rolled it out to go ahead, or at least had planned to roll it out to go ahead and get everything inside the camper with the sun coming out so it wouldn't be so hot. And in the process of doing this, when I went to hit the motor to let it out, it didn't roll out, it flew out. And now when I turn the motor on inside to try to roll it back in, and it's gotten windy, all you hear is the motor running, and it will not come back in. And you'll see, if you can make it out right there, that's the motor. It's a Dometic 9200. And they're notorious about, there's a gear that's inside. I'll be showing you. I'm not going to take this thing apart, but there's a gear inside, and that gear will strip out. And you can probably find other videos on it where people talk about that happening. Well, it's happened. And I've got to roll this thing in so we can head on down to Florida. We're leaving in the morning, and there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to get a motor in time to replace it. And I've got to find one wherever it is. So, and what people suggest, and it's only me today, is it takes 2 people and 2 ladders where you grab this thing by hand. Somebody gets on this end and somebody gets on this end, and you roll it back up and you use tie wraps. Well, I don't trust tie wraps to go to Florida and back. If it was just we were staying here until I could get it ordered, I would do that, but I got to make this thing super secure. I'm going to have to scratch my head a little bit and figure out how to do this. So let's put on the engineering thinking cap, and I'll show you what I plan on doing, and we'll roll it up. And then when we get back from Florida in a couple weeks, I'll replace the motor if I can find one. Well, after a couple hours thinking through this, I'll show you what I've come up with. It's probably not the best solution, but it's all that I've got right now. I went to the big box store, the big blue big box store, home improvement store, and I got this. It's a pry bar. I had the bent type of pry bars, but this is a pry bar. And then I don't know which size I'm going to need. I got a pipe clamp, one of 2. I think one will be plenty, but I don't know which size I'm going to need here. And what I'm going to do is I've got space up top here where I can put this thing. Now, let's talk about this just a minute. This awning is spring loaded, and I mean when this thing came out, it was just like boom. I'm surprised it didn't tear something up when it came loose. It just came out ferociously and just came flying out. And I'm going to be putting this on it and winding it up by hand. Now, here's going to be the trick to this. If I let go, this thing is going to be like a spinning buzzsaw, and it's going to tear through anything that is soft like skin. And so it's, you know, I'm going to be cautious. I'm doing this to warn you. If you haven't done something like this, I'm not recommending it. It's just this is my only option that I've got to be able to roll this in and us head out in the morning. I don't have anybody to be able to help me, and I've got one ladder. So I'm going to have to be extraordinarily cautious. And so if you plan on doing something like this, do so at your own risk. But I will show you what I'm going to do, and then you can decide if you've got not just the ability to do it, but you want to take the risk to do it as well. So again, I'm not recommending this. This is just the only thing that I've got to be able to do it today. So up we go up the ladder, and we're going to see how this thing's going to work. Something that you see quite often on I Love RV Life are the many projects and upgrades that we do to our Montana fifth wheel. Now, when we bought our fifth wheel 2 years ago, our first night's sleep was at the dealer. and it was on a mattress that was about this thick, and it was hard as a rock, and it was a terrible night's sleep. So when we got the fifth wheel home, the first thing that we did was go out to rvmattress.com and get us a new mattress. When you go out to their website searching for a mattress, you'll see everything from their memory foam options all the way up to their top of the line Titans. And you'll find a price point and a size that fits most camper styles. Now, we chose this Signature Series mattress for a couple reasons. One, we like the height that it offered for us, and we also like the construction of this mattress, from the coils, the various types of foam, and then you see this topper that is built into the mattress that doesn't make it hot or cold when we sleep at night. And we're side sleepers, so one of the things that we like about this mattress is it's form-fitting, and we don't wake up with those painful places from the pressure points of sleeping on our side at night. It is a great, comfortable mattress. Other benefits from a Brooklyn bedding mattress are the 120-night sleep trial, the 10-year warranty they offer, and then free shipping. And look how simple it is to install one of these. They deliver it to your front door. You bring it inside your camper. You take it out of the box. You take it out of the plastic. Within minutes, the mattress comes to full size, and you can sleep on it that evening. If you're interested in getting a mattress, go out to rvmattress.com/ILoveRVLife and then use the code ILoveRVLife at checkout. This is a new benefit that they are offering our I Love RV Life viewers. You'll get an extra 5% off the published discount. So if you're seeing 25% published, you'll get an additional 5%, total 30% off your purchase. If you're looking at one of their holiday specials where they're giving a 30% discount, adding that 5% will give you a 35% discount. Well, we would like to thank rvmattress.com for sponsoring our video today. All right, here's the lever. Here's what I've done. You can see the pipe clamp here that I've put on it, super tight. And I'm going to use this as my lever to roll this in. And I'm going to have to move the ladder at some point in time, so I have an extra strap that I'll be using to kind of hold this. I'll show it to you as I go, just to be, you know, extra careful, because this thing again is under a tremendous amount of spring pressure. So again, oh my goodness, if you plan to do something like this, please be extra careful. Like I said, I have no other option but to do this, and I think it's going to work. This is where I've run out of room. Let me move the ladder. Wow, it worked. Can't believe it. It's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna probably finish this up by hand, but at least I've got the strap here where I can finish this up by hand. You can see I've got it right there. It's not going anywhere. And I'll take this clamp and this pry bar off and go ahead and roll it up by hand and get it finished up. Well, I can't tell you how excited I am that that worked, and had to do it by myself. So I'm going to put the rest of the straps on. Here's where I am. I'm going to put a strap here, one here. I'm going to do the same thing down at the end. I'll show you what that looks like when I get through. So if you look here, you can see the straps that I used. And I got them top and bottom. I've got them here. And then again, you can see I've got them up top. So what are we doing from here? Well, we're leaving in the morning, heading to the beach. We're going to be down there for a couple weeks. I've got to order that motor, or at least try to find one. That's the thing about these 9200s. These Dometic 9200s, if you do searches, they're hard to find. I'm sure that I can find a source somewhere to get them. I've already called around here. There's none. And it's going to take weeks and weeks to be able to get them in. I think maybe I'll have a better opportunity on the internet to be able to find one and get it in at a reasonable price. I hope, whatever reasonable price is for a Dometic 9200 awning motor. So I'll see you back in a couple weeks. All right, well, we're back home. It's been 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks since the video that I showed you me rolling this in. And I did find a motor, a 9200 Dometic motor. I had to order it through a reseller that was on Walmart. That seemed like the best price and the one that I could get in a reasonable time frame. I'm not crazy about the way it's shipped. I'll show you. Here's what came in, and that's the way it came in. Nothing to protect it, just everything flopping around in here. Here's the motor. Here's the aluminum end cap. And they were kind enough, even though it all came out, to send, you'll see how this goes on in just a few minutes, to send these pop rivets that I'll be needing. So let's start putting this together. And the sale price on this, I think, was something like taxes, shipping, everything was something like about $365. They're not cheap. But it is new, and it's original Dometic parts. So we'll now get this thing put back on and see if we can get an awning that's functional again. Not a big deal, but the first thing I had to do was pop this end cap on. It only goes on one way, and then you'll notice it has these, if you can make this out here, it has these little fingers right here. You can see it. When you push through, this is what holds it in place, and that's all it is to it. Now what has happened, inside here is a gear, and that gear on the existing motor has literally stripped from here. The motor's running, but that gear will not engage, or it will not engage with the shaft, so it's broken loose inside. That's what's happened to the original unit. I don't think this is going to be a big deal to replace. Let's climb the ladder and see if we can't get this thing started. All right, let me show you where we're at before we start replacing this motor. First of all, this awning is under a tremendous amount of spring tension. Last thing I want to do is release the motor and this roller just go flying crazy. Who knows what would do. Probably just roll this thing out and dump it all down on the ground. I don't want to do that. So I've rolled it out carefully, again, using that same lever, again, being very, very cautious. But I need an extra set of hands, so I'll show you what I've done. So again, using these straps, I've just put me some shims in here. I got this tight. I don't know that it will completely hold this up, but it will give me an extra set of hands that I don't have. I wish I had some kind of a ladder and a stand I can put under this, but I don't have that. I've got to take out, drill these out. These are the pop rivets. I've got 2 here, 1 on the bottom, and then you can see I've already taken the power off of it. No big deal. And then the only thing that's holding this motor on, believe it or not, is this one bolt right here. That's the only thing that's holding it on. Slide that off, slide the new one on, put the bolt in, new pop rivets, and hook the power back up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I'm not going to show you the process of just drilling all this out. It's no big deal. Just drill those out, pop the new one in, and then go from there. The biggest issue is how do I suspend this? So if I can somehow manage both camera and doing this task at the same time, I'll show it to you. All right, pop rivets are in. I'm going to try to loosen this up now. to get the bottom screw in. Get that put in real quick. All right, let's look at the finished product here. Here we go, new motor. I'll share with you probably the biggest challenges. This is really a two-person job. I don't know if you can make it out, but if you look at this, if it was to go all the way down, if you look about halfway down, it kind of bows a little bit in the middle, and that makes fitting this cup on, even though it's aluminum, very, very tough to get that on square. It's a bit of a challenge, and you cannot tap this motor. You tap it, you'll destroy it. Now, very gently, rubber hammer, you can tap around the edges here just ever so easy, but you really need somebody holding this as you're doing it. And I didn't have that set of hands, so I had to improvise and overcome. And it was a challenge. It probably took me about 5 times as long if I would have had another set of hands and another ladder, but unfortunately I didn't have that. Second, if you can look inside here, right along this edge, right here is a lip on both sides, and this motor has to slip perfectly in that. That's what keeps this from twisting. And then you've got the bolt that you'll see right here that holds that in place. But really the structure that holds this motor in place is not the bolt, but these little tracks that's on both sides. And again, the challenge with one set of hands is getting that slid into place, and then that over the side. So I got brand new covers to put on here, but I haven't tried to hit the button yet. So let's see if this is going to work after all this task. Let's see what's going to happen. One of the good things about doing a video like this is just showing you the challenges that you can run into prior to travel, and then not having extra sets of hands and things like that, because many of us get in that environment. For a number of reasons, there wasn't help available for me. So let's talk about how we improvised and overcame, which there was a lot of it. Again, one ladder, you saw what I had to do to be able to crank the awning in. Again, I will agree with all the comments that's going to come in, Jerry, that was sketchy. It was, but I had to be very, very careful. One misstep, and I'm handling a buzzsaw. So do I recommend that? No, I don't. But that's just what I had to do. I didn't have that extra set of hands and another ladder to get on both ends and manually roll it in. If I had that, I think that would have been the preference than doing what I had to do. But again, I had to do what I had to do. Good news is those straps hailed to Florida, down bumpy 75, coming back, no problems. You know, what was that, 12-ish, not quite 14 hours on the road there and back. And it did fine. So I was really pleased with those straps. Get you some of those for emergency. I'll put some links in the show notes and on ilovervlife.com if you don't have some of those. They're cheap, they're handy, you can use them for a dozen things, and they're better than tie wraps. And you can reuse them over and over and over, and I won't say they won't break, but if they do break, you are in a hurricane. So that was issue number one. Issue number two, I really did need a second set of hands and another ladder. Rolling that out, I debated, I've seen videos where people just let it roll out a little bit. I started that, I didn't show that on the video, and there's a bit of a break in that roller, and if you don't just catch it just right, boom, it spools and it makes a big mess. And I decided to go ahead and roll it on out. I don't know that that was the best thing to do, but that's what I ended up doing. And the challenge again, because that is such a long roller, it has a slight little bow in the middle when it rolls all the way out. And that's a tight fit for that aluminum cup of the motor to go on there, and that was a bit of a challenge. Now, in the video, I show bits and pieces of what I was doing. Drilling out those rivets where it was a pain, and I had a brand new bit and a good quality electric drill, battery drill, and they're just a pain. What I couldn't show everything, but once you get that head off, the best thing to do is get a punch and punch them out, and once that happens, it's not a big deal. And the motor came off. I mean, it slid off. It was relatively easy, but that's when the challenge came in. Wow, was it a WWE wrestling match. I had a bib on. I had my motor in that bib because I knew I was only going to have one set of hands. And then trying to fit that in that channel that I was showing you a few minutes ago and getting that cup on is where I really, really needed a second set of hands. You saw what I did with straps and some shims to hold everything in place. If it wouldn't have been for that, it would have been a disaster. So it was a challenge. Again, I wish I'd have had another set of hands and another ladder. But be that as it may, these are the things that we run into, and you have to make adjustments and then wrestle it. I think, this is a tough task. And it's an expensive task. That motor, I think, was $365 plus shipping. That was another challenge I ran into. Finding one, those 9200s are really a challenge to get into, and you really need to make sure, because of the way these things fit together, you've got to get the right motor for the right awning. So I'm not saying that everybody has a 9200 Dometic, but I think regardless of the type of awning that you have, you're going to run into the exact same challenges that I ran into with these motorized. I will share this as well. If something ever happens to this awning, honest to goodness, I think I'll go manual. I really dislike these electric awnings. Even in our previous gateway that we got rid of in 2022, I had the motor go out in it. And and one of two things happen: either the motor burns up, or that plastic gear that's on the shaft just breaks loose and it spins free. And it really puts a shock on the system when that happens, because it comes out violently. It's not just once that brake releases, and if that thing spins out of control and there's no warning, there's no slippage, there's nothing to say this is getting ready to break. When it goes all at one time. So it was a bit of a challenge. Well, I do these fix-its. This wasn't a modification, this was a repair. I do that to show you that you can do it. If you're in a position to where you have, a few hand tools, a drill, just a basic wrench, you can do it. You're going to you're going to need another set of hands to be able to get this done efficiently and timely. It probably took me 2 or 3 times as long to be able to do it by myself than if I would have had, again, another good set of strong hands and a good quality ladder. That's another thing. You don't want to do this with a wobbly ladder. You don't want to do it on a windy day, all those types of things. So it's a bit of a task, but it's doable. It's doable. I did it. Works like a champ. As a matter of fact, I think I can tell that motor was failing. This one probably rolls in 2 times, almost 3 times as fast as the other one. So I don't know if it's just a better quality motor or they've made improvements in it, but we'll do that. I will put a link, even though this is not sponsored. I don't get anything from Walmart or the distributor, the reseller that put this in there. I'll put you a link in there where I found this motor. If you're having difficulty and you need a 9200, I don't know. I don't know if you'll find this video a week, a month, 2 years from now, whether this reseller will still be there, but I'll still put the link in there. So I hope that helps you as well. Well, I hope you find these helpful. These are what I call not fun, but very necessary in RV life. Enjoy doing them, and enjoy showing you what you can do if you're just a little handy and having an RV. And I do this for one reason. You got it. It's because I love RV life. See you in the campground soon. Bye. you.